모든 경기장 도시락.
All right, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on Darkness Falls, and in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have our representative from the team Prime. It is Creator. He is our teal Protoss player, and he is trying to take the reins from Marine King, who took 4 games in a row from their opponent's team in the top right-hand corner. Their representative is our blue Terran player. That is StarTale.Bomber.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how Bomber is going to play this. I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be a standard macro game between these two players, but it should be pretty neat. I mean, this is the same style versus the same style. Both of these guys like to play that really heavy macro game, like to get their upgrades going, like to have strong economies, and then have those big clashes in the middle of the map near the end of the game. And this is a nice big open map, too. So I would say neither one of these players is really favored on this map.
All right. This is obviously a pretty logical choice from Creator, though. I mean, I would have expected nothing less from him.
Yeah, he wants a big map.
Especially now that Calm Before the Storm is gone. That's kind of been his default go-to pick here so far in Team Arena Challenge. But, all right, taking a look around at things now. Strategies will start to develop in a little bit, of course. See if Bomber decides to put down barracks. Yes, he does. This is a map where it's pretty easy to do a 1-Rax gasless FE. Just a bunker up there at the front, well reinforced by your ramp. And you can go ahead and hold 2 bases very quickly.
He likes big maps, and he cannot lie.
Yeah, that is true.
His other zealots can't deny.
When I don't even know where to go. I don't even know where to go from there. I'm trying to be like when a map walks in. Now I just sound stupid.
When a probe walks in and puts minerals in your face, you get, I don't know,
something
another Nexus
sprung.
Yeah. Nothing in the Protoss artillery really rhymes with sprung, does it?
With sprung.
Maybe you just get sprung. I mean, that's
maybe so. Hey, different strokes for different folks. We're not judging. We're not here to
like
judge
having minerals, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
go with that.
The less said about that, the better, I think.
No, more talking about that. Anyway, so Bomber did decide to put up gas as well. Not going to opt for that 1-Rax gasless FE. He is going to go into some sort of tech. We'll see what that is in a bit. Creator, on the other hand, are just going to wait and see what he does. If he decides to go second gas right now or just expand off of what he has at the moment.
I would imagine we're probably going to see a 1-gate expand from Creator.Prime. That seems to be kind of his general rule of thumb, is just 1-gate expand if you can.
And taking a look around.
Look at that. A factory going up for Bomber. Okay, so now things are going to get interesting. And the positioning of that is not in a place where you could put, say, a tech lab or a reactor down. Oh, okay, there we go. Tech lab on the barracks.
Right. Okay, so tech lab right away. We'll see if a second gas gets added here in a couple of seconds, and the things could get very interesting.
Well, yeah, I wonder what we're going to see from Bomber. Just the positioning of all that is quite interesting. I think we're going to see Banshees, actually, to see him move that barracks after the tech lab is done, and then put a starport in there after the factory finishes. But I'd love to see him switch the factory over and do Blue Flame Hellions, too.
Excuse me, pardon me. So the SUV slips right on by, and you know, the first couple of units making their way out for Creator could actually pose a bit of a problem. We have it's Marauders with Concussive Shell and Hellion. So a Marauder Hellion push against Protoss, not something I've seen in a little while. As this Zealot going to make its way up now. We'll see if these units can be deflected.
We can't let him see that factory.
And he does.
Yep. Sees the factory, so now he knows he's not going against just a normal bio build, which he may have thought only seeing Marines and Marauders. Interesting.
And looks like Creator is going to expand off of this. He's only produced a couple of units so far. He'll be spamming out some more gateways in just a bit. As the Stalker's actually taking a pretty good bit of damage from that Hellion.
Yeah, we'll have to see how far Bomber decides to take this Marauder Hellion build. You know, this is something that can be very difficult for players to deal with. I mean, Hellions do take down sentries and zealots really quickly. They're fast, so you can kind of avoid force fields. And Marauders basically own everything. So it's going to be a pretty dangerous push.
Let's see here now is Creator actually brought a couple of probes off the line. Not sure what they were going to do to Hellions, but we'll find out in a bit, I suppose. And, whoa, Bomber. He's actually pulling a few SCVs to repair some units up, and he is just going to push right now.
Interesting, yeah, using those SCVs to buffer. Oh, but nice concave by Creator.Prime. Is it going to be enough, though?
Look at that. The probes being pulled off the line perfectly. There's nothing left to repair, and all of a sudden, Bomber's attack got stomped flat.
No kidding, man. The SCVs need to make a run for it as well. Creator.Prime so prepared. Oh, the Hellion doesn't even get in to scout.
Wow, so good.
Locked down, man. Creator.Prime, he's pretty good.
Yes,
pretty
he is.
Good kid.
And the best part about this for him, too, is that he already has his Nexus finished up, so he's ahead in supply now, but watch how quickly that's going to go up as he continues to reinvest in all of his units, and now it looks like he may be able to pick off a couple of Marauders as well. One goes down at the very least, but now there's SCVs in here as well. Creator's going to have to run away with one of the Stalkers. No, doesn't even matter. These SCVs are going to die as well.
Yep, looks like he did micro his way out of that here. Oh, he's going to lose another Stalker. Creator.Prime may be getting a little bit too aggressive here.
Yeah, a little bit, but it looks like just trading blows in the middle here, and that certainly does favor Creator right now because he does have that increased production and earlier available Nexus.
3 hit point Stalker is like, all right, I return to serve, but now I'd really just like to take a vacation or something.
I've already been at DT. I've already blown through one of these lives.
Right.
Come on, it's retirement.
I was like, man, when we were Dark Templars, we didn't have to fight Marauders.
That's your own White-Raw's army.
Ah, that's true.
White-Raw, man, loves using those DTs just for pure DPS. And it is a fun sight to just watch. Oh, did you just scan me? Well, this is literally 20 DTs. What are you going to do about that DPS?
Yeah. Plus, if they don't scan, then suddenly their army disappears. You're like, oh, well, how did that happen? Then you hear like the sound, and you're like, oh, no. There were DTs in there.
Oh, God, why?
Yeah.
All right, so this is very Creator-esque. It's 3-gate Robo with double Forge. That's about as Creator as it gets.
It's his build, man. You could just almost call this a Creator build, except that he wasn't the first one to think of it. But
that's true.
He was the first one to popularize it in Korea, at least. So.
All right, well, his Observer is going to get a good look around as well. He's up by about 10 supply. 12 of that, is actually workers, so he is double producing workers at a very, very good clip. Already preparing his Twilight Council to go into 2-2 as soon as possible.
Yep. 2-2 indeed. And probably Blink as well, just to kind of stay a little bit more safe. Wow, the music got really quiet there for a second.
I know, no kidding. It's just...
It's like, where are the guitars and, like, the rock music from Terran?
I think people expect me to say something now.
Don't think this push is going to really do a whole lot. Creator very prepared. Of course, he's got the Observer right above that. Are there medevacs with this as well? Yes.
Yeah, just one.
That's
the only one on the field right now.
One medevac. 2 medevacs, actually. Another one behind that, I think.
Second one, actually, there's only one on the field. The second one just finished. So.
Yep. All right. Looks like we may see a bit of a drop from Bomber. Okay, yeah, that was the Observer as well.
Yeah, so Creator should be on top of this. We'll see where his next Warping cycle actually goes to. And let's see here. Bomber going to push through the front now. The drop actually hitting. Creator going to need to warp some units. No, actually shifting things back. And it looks like he is going to force that away. Very smartly going after the medevac right away. But it is going to survive. Gets away just in time.
Yeah, didn't really do a lot of damage with that. Creator is starting to pull ahead in supply now. And the upgrades are going to be quite a bit ahead, too. Bomber's kind of missed his little timing where he can push with just those first 2 medevacs. Very difficult to do that on this map if your opponent is pretty good with their force fields, as we know that Creator.Prime is. So yeah, Bomber's going to need to kind of sit back, build up an army, think about taking his 3rd, and add on to Ghost Academy at this point.
Yeah, but look at this. Creator actually going over to Gateways 4, 5, and 6 with the robotics base. So a lot of tech off of 2 bases, but, you know, with him already moving into 2-2 upgrades, not a bad spot for him to be in.
Well, yeah, this is just classic, very, very safe Protoss versus Terran. I mean, any Protoss out there that wants to learn how to play a longer game against Terran, wants to be, you know, a good macro Protoss against Terran, watch Creator.Prime. He plays the safest and the, like, macroist of macro games. So,
yes.
Yeah, definitely just check this guy out. No 2-base timings for this kid.
No, our friendly 3-hit-point Stalker, though, still having to make his way out at the moment. Still being called into service, but a good anti-drop force back at home, but not necessary, as we can see from the caster chair at the moment, as Bomber doesn't have a lot on the field. Looks like he is just going to try and take his 3rd, but of course this Observer sees exactly that. Creator decided to take his 3rd in return.
Yeah, no, Bomber actually is going to have his 3rd base up ahead of Creator.Prime, which is going to certainly help out. Remember that the upgrades are still going to be very, very much in our Protoss players' favor for a little while anyway, but Bomber, oh, look at that, making Vikings now, too. So did he see the Colossus tech?
Yes, he did. He scanned before, and I'm sure he clicked on everything when he did.
He did see that. All right. So he knows exactly what's coming. And Creator's not the type of player to do, like, really fast tech switches into other things. You know, he likes to kind of stick with one thing for a while here, too. So, ooh.
Yeah.
This is a pretty beefy force for Bomber coming up here.
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. And we're going to see another cycle of Warpins here in just a second. Looks like that actually just happened. Yep. Bomber actually just going to drop here on the right-hand side.
Wow.
Is this going to be enough damage, though?
That's
I mean,
brave.
Yeah, it's very brave, especially because Creator's going to get himself a nice little engagement there, picks off a couple of units without losing much in return. Bomber actually just gifting a few forces, but he's going to come right back.
Yep, dropping to pick off just a few more probes, and then he's going to pick up again, get away.
Yeah.
Free damage is always nice damage to do.
That is
Absolutely.
a whole heck of a lot of Zealots, actually, already on the field. Most of the gas for Creator, of course, just going to pure upgrades and Colossi.
Yeah, Creator can just leave some units there as well. And just kind of defend those things later. And now that Zealot charge is finishing right about now, those Zealots are going to be really, really good at denying drops. Speed lots, you know, unless you're warping them in right in front of the drop, generally do pretty well against that type of thing.
All right, well, Creator a little back in supply at the moment, but not unovercomable, certainly, and he still does have a really, really significant upgrade advantage. 2-2 is finished with 3-3 on the way. Thermal Lance is going to finish up here momentarily as well. So, unit tab suggests 5 Vikings on the field now for Bomber. No +1 attacks, though, quite yet.
Yeah, we've got StarTale Bomber on 3 bases, man. I mean, he is in his element now. He's like, all right, I'm just going to play SimCity, man. I'm just going to make a lot of units, get my upgrades. I don't really need to worry about doing anything to my opponent for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Creator was very, very supply blocked there for a bit, but finally freeing that up. Another couple of pylons down there. There's finally the Ghost Academy finishing up for, or starting for Bomber, I should say. Looks like he's going to try and push his way in a bit. I've got to say this push looks a little bit less scary without any sort of ghost presence. That still is a lot of units, and it looks like he's just going to try and push right now.
Hey, why not, man? I mean, he's got such a strong army here. The speed lots are going to melt very quickly with a little stutter stepping. And, oh, the Vikings, though, getting a little bit ahead of everything and dying to the Stalkers here.
Because there weren't that many Stalkers on the field as well. I would have thought the Colossi would have fallen quicker, and all of a sudden, you know, Creator's pushing back. This army is still at a little bit of a deficit in terms of overall supply, but he forces an engagement part 2, and the Colossi at the back are actually racking up quite a few kills. One finally goes down, and it looks like Creator pushing this back.
Yep. He's got to be careful, though. I mean, he doesn't have that big of an army. Okay, yeah, now turning around, I was going to say, you don't want to take this all the way to your opponent's base. Although maybe he does. 3-3 is getting really close to finishing, and Bomber does not even have 2-2 yet. And this is going to be a very lopsided fight in terms of upgrades.
Very much so. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a significant window as well. It's almost a 80-second window for him to attack. That's another couple of Warpin cycles that he could take advantage of and press before 2-2 hits for Bomber.
Yeah.
And we do actually have a full-on switch to Immortal Archon now for Creators. He's putting down 4 more gateways. So he's replenishing his army pretty quickly. Of course, it is very well upgraded.
Bomber making some emergency ghosts right now, and they're going to finish long before the Mobius reactor does. They're not going to have EMPs right away as well. Bomber just being like, all right, I need ghosts right now. I need to have like the chance of having EMP as fast as possible here, because this is a very, very scary army from Creator.Prime. I mean, and you're like, well, Bomber's ahead on supply, but yeah, look at the upgrades, though.
It is. A 3-3. That's actually staggering. And look at this. It's going to hit at the perfect time before EMPs are done and 2-2 finishes. No, Creator! He's being so passive.
That's right. He's being very Creator-Prime.
Yes, he is.
Zealots are a little bit in the back here, too. He's going to need to blink those Stalkers back, possibly.
All right, well, Ghost's about to finish up EMP in just a second. And there it is done. They finally launch a couple of EMPs, but the Zealots have already done their damage. The last Colossus has gone down, but Creator on these 3-3 upgrades is starting to do some significant damage. 74 supply now to 147, and it looks like Prime is going to advance to the winner's bracket finals to face old generation StarCrafters.